organizations in the world. But if you can't answer about
It's very hard to assess the size and significance of the Israel lobby in the media in the West. All we can say is that those who oppose Zionism find it very hard to get published. They are criticized in the media on a regular basis. So the evidence is that the Zionist lobby is very influential in the media, especially in America. But the encouraging thing is that when you see things in Palestine, when you visit, you see the injustices, people come back to Britain and America and they speak about what they've seen, it's very hard for the media to ignore them. And I detect a shift, a progressive shift. Certainly in Britain, the media is much more aware of the injustices in Palestine and are more willing, more open to publicize it in the newspapers and radio and TV. So we are winning the media battle against the propaganda of the Zionist lobby.
That's what I mean, but
I'm not aware of that issue, but I'm aware that...
I'm talking that it's here and...
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I'm saying is I'm aware that that in the Independent and in the Guardian newspapers especially, and the Middle Eastern TV stations, Al Manar, Al Jazeera and others, we are getting more of an accurate picture of what's happening here in the Middle East. And increasingly I'm finding people in Europe are very upset when they realize that they have been blinded by the media, and they are recognizing that our own insecurity is linked to one-sided support for Israel.
You're talking about...
Which is why we must either insist on a state for Palestine on the 67 borders, independent, sovereign, contiguous Palestinian state. That's why we supported the UN application for recognition of Palestine. If America and Israel will not tolerate a Palestinian state, then we must push the other way and claim civil rights, give the vote to Palestinians, one civil society, call it whatever you like, but it can't be a Jewish state. They cannot have both, the West Bank and be a Jewish state.
For example,
well, I think that, again, in the West, people are realizing that when you give people the right to vote, you have to accept the leaders they elect, even if those leaders are people you don't agree with. If you give people freedom, you have to accept their right to choose their leaders. And the fact that America refused to negotiate with Hamas has merely perpetuated the conflict and the suffering. So again, people are waking up to the fact that with elections coming in Palestine soon, we must negotiate with whoever the Palestinians elect.
Sorry, you're talking about negotiate, but the political leadership talking about movement in the land. They cancelled the elections, they made two leaderships, and then Israel talking in the media that we haven't partner, Palestinian partners are talking about.
They've always said that, but I'm encouraged that Fatah and Hamas are talking to each other, and they are working together, and that's why we must encourage the Palestinian people to find unity in strength, or strength in unity, rather than to be divided. And we mustn't divide the Palestinians. We must encourage them to work together for their survival and their future.
So the last question.
I believe that it is possible because I am hopeful for the future. I readily agree with you that those who came from all around the world did not have the right to take the land away from the people who lived there, the Palestinians. And my Palestinian friends say that the suffering of the Jewish people has now become the suffering for the Palestinians. One wrong does not make another wrong justified. But now the reality is that there are many Jewish people who were born in Palestine, along with Palestinians. Are we going to force them out, or are we going to say you have a right to live where you were born? If we say that the Palestinians have a right to live where they were born, then we have to accept that there are Israeli Jews who live there as well. So I'm hopeful that if we will either have two states, Palestine and Israel, or one state where they will have to learn to live together.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.